Hello, lovely people. Back to family life. Today we'll be talking about a few different things. First of all, we will be talking about tweeters and what I'm gonna planning to do with them. And then we will cover something that nobody talks about, but I think everybody should be talking about, which is time and family life. A lot of you people, my followers, are like normal people. And by normal people, I mean people that have actual lives, that have a job, full-time job, have a family, maybe kids and stuff. And a lot of times I get comments and people reach out to me. It's like, how do you find the time? How do you manage to like do this car audio stuff, make videos and everything? And so this is going to be a prime example how I'm doing things, because if you saw like from the previous videos, um, one day, literally 1 hour, I took all the gear. The other day, literally another hour doing the door. Another day, another hour. Another day, another hour. So now I'm planning to build A-pillars with these for these tweeters. I got these 3D printed rings, which was printed to me by one of the guys. I mentioned him in another video. I'm gonna maybe put a link for his page for you as well. So 3D printed rings. I'm very excited about those, and I need to put them in the A-pillars. So something like this, but deeper in the pillar. And this is gonna be a prime example how normal people do things, because when you see like videos for showing how to make custom A-pillars, you have professional shops that spend a day or 2 full days, which is like 16-20 hours on a pair of pillars, and you like in one time-lapse video and stuff. And this is not how life works, yeah, and a lot of you probably know. So one day is gonna be literally just trying to mount them, angle them, probably an hour today maybe. Then another day somehow making a wooden like frame or something. Then the other day, that's how things work. 1 hour here, 1 hour there, maybe a week apart. And these pillars for me to make probably is gonna take a couple of weeks, I guess. And it depends again on the finish, how I'm gonna finish it. So you see my headline is light in color, and to find a matching fabric for me is gonna be a pain. And the thing is, I'm cheap again, so I cannot allow myself to buy multiple samples just to see which one works best. So my plan is either to wrap this finished A-pillar with regular grill cloth, which is black, or somehow paint it. And it's not going to be perfect, I know that, because it's the first time I'm going to be doing pillars. There are videos online where you can find with like clear instructions how to make them, but I'm going to be attempting to do it all by myself from scratch. So if I'm going to mess it up, the good thing is this pillar I can buy for £10, like $15, a spare set of pillars from the breakers, and I can try again, because why not? And when you do everything by yourself, don't be scared to mess things up, because probably you will. But this is the only way how you learn, by messing things up. And there's nothing to be scared of, because this is a process. Some professionals, I want to say, they don't want to show the process how they make things, because they're still in the process of learning themselves, and it's like, oh, it's not perfect, I don't want to teach, I don't want to show. But me personally, I want to show everything, because you're going to be in the same boat as me, doing something for the first time. And you're going to learn from mistakes, I'm going to learn from mistakes, and hopefully that's going to teach somebody something. And this is how I find my time, literally 1 hour there, 1 hour there. So now what I need to do is I need to find an angle for these tweeters, how they would work, and the height as well. So I'm thinking something like this, because I don't want to push it too deep, because I'm going to push it too deep, it's going to be closer to the mid. However, there's not going to be any space to make the actual pillar. So it has to be somewhere closer, maybe something like this, in this height. So I just need to cut with something. Maybe I'm going to use like a oscillating multi-tool to cut a slit where I can put this ring inside and then build on top of it, basically. So this is going to be, I'm going to be aiming on axis. This is going to be like this. On the other side, it's going to be more flush. Oh, sorry. It's going to be more flush. So it's not going to be like that. It's going to be something like this. And this is how like people build pillars. So shops, when they want, and especially if a customer wants aesthetics, you need to build both pillars to be aiming like towards like this part of the car, somewhere like in the middle of the car, so that they would look aesthetically pleasing and both of them would look symmetrical. However, I'm going to be aiming totally on axis, because I know that these tweets, they're big, they have a big diaphragm, and even slight aim off axis are not gonna give me the top end that I need, the extension all the way up to 20k. And they're supposed to be playing because they're like high res, they're supposed to be playing up to like 30-40k or whatever, so they have to be spot on axis, otherwise I'm gonna be losing the top end. And this is a compromise that a lot of installers, people's shops do when they aim tweeters slightly off axis. They are sacrificing the top end, but the install looks better aesthetically, it looks more symmetrical. But for me, looks, as you can see from these mids, for me looks don't matter really as much. I'm aiming towards more performance. So these tweeters, they're very big. They have this like ring that you can screw on. I'll try to undo it with one hand. And this is the actual, the 3D printed ring. So it looks like this. So with this, I'll just need to, again, put it like this somehow. So I'm planning to do this today to show you how I do this, how I aim it. And then the rest, it depends on the time, because I need to go with the little one to the pool today, enjoy the lovely day, because it's extremely sunny. She's playing, and she's gonna be playing all day long. My sunflowers are blooming. Yeah, so loads of stuff to do today. Hello. Loads of stuff to do today, and yeah, we'll see how it's gonna go. For the initial slit, I chose this part of the pillar, which is like, it has the most meat, because if you go higher, it gets a bit narrower. If you go down, it gets narrower as well. So this has like the most meat. The other thing that I need to check is space behind this, to make sure that if I put like the ring deeper in the pillar, I will have the space behind it. So if I just remove this one, I can see that this area is totally empty. There's this bolt, but it's not going to be in the way because it's going to be lower than that. And on the pillar itself, so I have this, if I turn it around, I have perfectly flat area, no clips, no nothing. So initial slit, and then we're gonna see. This is my initial cut done. So I use this multi-tool. I bought it second-hand for like 20-30 pounds. Yeah, not very often used tool, but for cutting plastic is good. So this is this, and then this is gonna go the other way around in this. I need to make it a bit thicker, but yeah, something like that for now. So you need to make it a tiny bit bigger, because it barely fits, and longer as well, so I can put it a bit deeper. First test fit, have it like this, so now I can see through the ring that it protrudes quite a lot from there, and like Emma has a 3 centimeter rule and everything, so I think I need to put it deeper into the pillar. So now in order to put it deeper, I need to cut a tiny bit on the top and more at the bottom, so it could slide down more in the bottom than the top, because I don't want it to be close to the glass. I want to be closer to there. So yeah, I enlarge a bit. I think I'm gonna be happy with this. So I don't want to cut too much, because then I'm gonna lose literally everything on the side. So I think this is gonna be fine. This paper is just for holding it in place. But like from this is from my, like where my head is. So I'm losing a tiny bit here, but not much. And then this is gonna be like that. I think I have enough space, because I need to put something like from here all the way to there, because if I'm going to put it too low, then this is going to be in the way, because I need stuff to build up on. So I think it is now that aiming is off, because aiming now is somewhere like here. So I'll need to just I'll just need to push it to, just like that, yeah, to aim it something like this. So in order to do that, I need now to find some kind of material to build with, because I keep seeing people do, they have like very thin strips of like wood or something, and they extend it and just glue it in. So I need to find something very, very thin and sturdy. In between the scraps, I found this piece, which was from little one's dolly house. She had a wooden dolly house. I threw it out and I kept this. So this is looks like ply. Come on, focus. Yeah, 3 layer ply. It's like maybe like 5-6 mil. It is a bit, you know, moldy and stuff, but it's fine. So I just need to cut it in thin strips, and this is gonna be like my building material. So now, how thick, how wide those strips should be, I have no idea. So I'm gonna try to make them as thin, maybe like 5-6, no, 7-8 mil maybe, and then yeah, we'll see. Continuation of family life and time. So this is my backyard. I have this saw that I bought for 20 pounds. So the saw I bought for 20 pounds, and I paid 25 pounds for the blade. So the blade is more expensive than the actual saw. And little one is playing there. She has ear protection, yeah, from the saw. I always ask her first, is it okay if I'm gonna try to do something? She said it's okay. She's playing with her earphones, and now I'm gonna chop this off to little pieces. Okay, family problems. She took everything away from me, and she doesn't want to give it to me because she needs to build a house. Do you need to build a house? That's for me? Thank you. Yeah, so we're sharing half and half. Yeah. So I have these little strips. Now I'm gonna make a few a bit wider, because these are very thin. So I'm gonna make a few wider just to have some extra. And yeah, fighting with the little one for wood. Okay, I have a few wider ones as well, because I don't know which one I will need. And yes, she knows that the blade is sharp and she cannot touch it. It's fine, don't worry about it. Oh, if we're talking about tools, so one thing that I want to kind of give you an advice. What I want to give you advice, from my experience, it's not the tool that matters, it's the blade or the cutting bit. So I have a router that I bought for 10 pounds, and the bit that I'm cutting with cost 25 pounds. So I pay twice as more for the bit compared to the router, and very similar with this. So it's off, it's fine, don't worry. So yeah, pay much more for the actual blade that cuts rather than for the tool. Don't spend money on the tool, spend on the blade. So yeah, now I have a few of these, and I'm gonna try to start building while my little one is building a house for her dollies. Family tip number whatever, make sure you clean up everything before your wife gets home from work. Okay, so now I have this little thing, and what I need to do is I need to glue one end to the actual ring, and then I have to decide how far I want to extend this. So if I'm going to put it like this, it's just going to be a lot of stuff to build, which is kind of pointless. If I'm going to make it something like this, then the tweeter might not fit. It's going to be like very shallow. So it needs to be something, I don't know, maybe this hole can be a good guide. Maybe a bit further, something like this. I don't know. Something like this, I guess, should be fine. The tweet is gonna fit. I would imagine should fit. Or maybe a bit further, something like this. Yeah, so now I just need to glue it to the actual ring and to the pillar itself. And for that, I will be using these. So you can use hot glue, but hot glue takes a bit longer. This is, you can buy them like in pairs. So this is CA glue. So this CA glue I used to glue the wires in my boot in my previous install, and it's basically super glue with some activator. And yeah, you just put some super glue and you spray the activator and it bonds instantly, so you don't have to wait, because for the hot glue you need to wait until it cools down. And this is very cheap. They use it for something for construction, I don't know, like skirting boards or something to glue them on, I don't know. But yeah, this is very cheap. Like the kit of this, which is like, what, how much, 200 mil or something, plus this like 8-9 pounds. It's very cheap and lasts a long time. So a dab of glue, a little bit of spray, and it's gonna be stuck. So now I need to decide how to glue this wood to the plastic ring. Actually, not how, but where, because these tweeters, they have a thread and they have a ring that tightens it. I would like to keep this ring to tighten it, because otherwise there's no way to hold it there. And when I'm gonna be gluing this wooden thingy, I need to think about this. Without the ring, I could glue it like here and make it flush with this. But with the ring, I cannot do that. Oh man, it's so difficult with one hand. Because if I do like this, I will have no clearance for the ring. So I have to glue it on top, just like that. So I'm thinking I'm gonna glue it something like almost halfway. And then this edge, I'm gonna fill it in with fiber fill. Yeah, because I will be using fiber fill, not fiberglass, because I cannot fiberglass with the cat running around and the little one because of the fibers and everything. It's a bit dangerous. So I will be using fiber fill regulars, and with this then I can do the angle almost however I want, because without that, like if I would put like this, the angle is kind of limited because the tweeter is big, so I cannot do a bigger angle like this. But with this, I can do a steeper angle. So I'm gonna glue it like this. Okay, so I tacked it in, and now what I notice, I'm looking at this, the angle like horizontal, left to right. Left to right angle is fine, it's aimed towards my face. However, up and down angle, I would like to be aimed a little bit more up, because what I can see, the thing is, like, I don't have a laser thing, I cannot put the tweeter in, but I can see, like, you can see this, oh man, it's so dark, it cannot focus. This bottom edge, you can see it more than the top one, so that means the angle is slightly lower. I need to kind of shift it towards up. So in order to do that, what I need to do is I need to cut a little bit more here, so that this part can slide a bit more forward, and then everything is gonna tilt a little bit. Or alternatively, I could cut the back end from that side, and then again it's gonna tilt a little bit, because now, even if I'm looking on the camera, it is aimed, I would say, something towards like this part maybe, and I want it to be aimed slightly higher. So yeah, just a little adjustment. After a few little adjustments, probably you're not gonna see it, but I cut a little bit here, a little bit here, so just shift it a tiny bit like this. I think I'm very happy with the angle as it is right now. So it's aimed, I think, something like this, so towards my like nose or something like that. I'm very happy. Now is gonna be the shittiest part, the most difficult one, because now, so the inner part to cut is kind of easy. The most difficult part is the front one, because you need to cut something like this, and this I have no idea how to do. So what I'm thinking, like, if I'm looking like this, I need the cutout, like if you imagine like a circle goes like this, so the cutout needs to follow the circle, so it's something like this, one point. I don't know if you can see it. Then the other one is something like this, this, this. I'm trying to do at the same time while filming, so it's not the best idea, but something like this. So I'm thinking, I don't know if you can see, you cannot see anything, can you? Yeah, you can see some dots. So like I'll dot here, 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 and here. Yeah, I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna draw a line. So I draw it like this. So this, the front part is the most important, because the rear one, it is a tweeter. It's not a mid-range, so it doesn't have to have a lot of space. The only space that it needs is literally for the back, because it is quite a deep tweeter. So I need something like maybe till like here, and the rest doesn't really matter. But the front is like this. So if I'm gonna put the tweeter, the pillar, just like that, with one hand, something like this. So you see, if I'm looking from my, again, this is first time I'm doing this, I have no idea how to do this. If I'm looking from so this is a bit too high maybe, so I maybe could draw like a little bit lower, because this is too high, but like this part is kind of following the actual circle. So if you're looking from the listening position, it looks like a circle. So this, it looks nice, but this one is a bit too high. So I'm like from like here, I need to cut it a bit lower. There we go. I had to draw 3 lines, and still it's not perfect. Like, see, this part is a bit maybe too high, but maybe it's gonna be fine, I don't know, because still I will need space for filling and stuff. So I just made it a bit lower like this, and like from this side, now it looks better. Again, it's not perfect, it doesn't have to be perfect. And now I need to somehow make sure that when I cut this, because this part, what I see when people build pillars, this part is built from the inside of the pillar, and this part from the outside of the pillar. So I just need to make sure I follow this, because this edge, I think, is going to be visible. So yeah, but I think it's fine like that. So now I'm just gonna have to cut it and see what happens. While I was cutting this part with the multi-tool, I did notice that this, because it's just a straight blade, it doesn't like to go over corners, and it's very difficult to cut a corner. That's why I did like this part practice before I do this, because this needs to be much nicer. So instead of using this one, I think I'm gonna switch to a Dremel. And with Dremel, like taking little bits and pieces, especially like this edge, to make it nice. I don't want it to be like all chopped off like this one, because it is plastic, and you cannot really sand it because it's gonna burn. So I'm gonna switch to a Dremel and just try my best, see what happens. With a Dremel, now I kind of have to decide what bit to use, because I have these cutting rings, and some of them, so this is for, come on, focus, PVC. So it is for plastic, but it still like melts and burns. So I'm thinking to use something like this. It's a bit thicker. It is used for wood, to chop off wood, because it is much more coarse, but I hope it's not a gunk up and it's not gonna melt on very low speed. However, the radius is quite big, so I don't know. I'm gonna try a few different bits and see which one works best. I am making quite good progress, so instead of the bigger one, I found a slightly smaller one, smaller diameter, so it can go like around this corner a bit nicer. On a higher speed, it still melts, so I have it on 15,000 RPMs. Probably could go a bit lower, and this is fine. And yeah, so this is cuts very nicely, and now I just need to finish up everything else. This is the final shape. It looks like it ended up quite well. I don't know, we'll see. Let's check and see if it's good or not. Something like this. Yeah. You cannot see the ring, but the ring is there. It's not touching anything. Still have like 5 mm to the bolt, which is perfect, maybe 4. So it might gonna be a bit tight here, but it's still fine. Let me try to put the tweeter in. The tweeter sits in very, very good. I do apologize for the sun because I have sun from the back. You cannot see much. It fits. The aiming is, yeah, it's like literally aimed to my nose. I think spot on axis as I wanted it to be. Yeah, it looks very, very good. It looks very nice. So now I need to build. Let me take it out. Yeah, I have clearance here, here. I need some clearance here for the ring because I need to put the ring on still. So I need to cut a little bit there. But make sure that I have clearance here. So I just need to try to put the ring on and see how it goes. Yeah, like this edge. So a little bit more here. And maybe a little bit more here. But the shape itself, it looks very nice. I'll just need to build on it. Now the ring has enough clearance from both sides. The only thing is that I need to like squeeze it in through here because it would fit perfectly from here, but here is a bit too narrow, so I need to squeeze it, plop it in, then release, and it jumps into place. So the ring is fine, and pillar goes in like this. Come on. Yeah. And it is on axis, looking good so far. And I'm not sure if I will be able to do anything today more because yeah, it's stable, hold in one place, it's fine. Literally now I could potentially hook it up and play. I don't know, this might affect something, but yeah, so this is basically how you do everything with limited time and limited family. So I'm starting to build this while my little one is playing next to me, and I noticed that the wider the strips, the worse it gets. So like you see this, so I need very, very thin strips, and now I understand why people use like small like bamboo skewers, but I don't have those bamboo skewers. But yeah, I'm gonna rip these two off and I'm gonna use these small ones instead. Yes, thinner strips work much better, so I use all the thin ones. I'm gonna have some space here for the filler. I'm gonna fill everything in as well. And you know how people like drill holes next to it for the fiber fill to come through? I'm gonna drill them now afterwards because now I see the edge, and now I can drill the holes next to the edge because without any practice I have no idea where it's gonna end up. Freya, is this a boat? Is this a boat? Is that a... Sure. Yeah, that's a boat. It looks like a boat. Yeah, it looks nice. I'm happy with it. And this is the other side done from inside. So inside, and it's gonna be like this. So this will need filling with fiber fill. Yeah, it's a little bit of a hole, but I think it's gonna be fine. Looks good. I like it. I really, really like how it looks like. Yeah. So now for the holes, and I have absolutely no idea how big of a hole to drill. Maybe 4 millimeters? Because if it's gonna be too big, the fiber fill is just gonna run through it. I think I'm gonna choose 4 mil. So I have the holes drilled. So I drilled next to the board, next to the wood on this side, And then for this, just flipped it around, and next to the wood here, I came very close to this plastic thing. It's like this. So the only thing I will need to do is to remove it when I will be using the fiber fill. And yeah, I think I'm gonna leave all the, like, I'm not gonna sand anything off. I'm gonna leave all these sharp edges and this fabric as well. I think I'm gonna leave it because I think it's gonna bond much better to the fabric compared to like smooth plastic, because it needs some grip to bond, and just basically run all the stuff around, and I think it's gonna be fine. So yeah, this is basically working at home, and I think now I'll have to leave this for probably the next day, because again, lunchtime, I need to go to the pool, and this is gonna be pretty much it, just like that. Yeah, it doesn't look that bad. It looks kind of cool. It's just finishing touches left. Now for the other side. So one side is like this. If it will be symmetrical, the other side is supposed to be like this, looking towards me. However, I need to aim it like that, so it'll be aimed towards the driver's side, exactly the same. So this one, that's exactly what I mean. It's not gonna be symmetrical, and this ring, it's not gonna be like this mounted, but it's gonna be like this. So the only thing that I need to make sure that the ring is kind of the same height and kind of the same distance, like back and forth and like up and down. I think it's something like this. I'll need to like actually take both pillars and just compare them. I'm looking something like this, and this is going to be very easy. So basically tack it into place, make one spacer in the back, and this, just the only thing is going to be the same is like this part. So I'm gonna make this part on this one exactly the same from there into there, but it's gonna be looking something like this. So let me tack it, and we're gonna check the actual aiming, how it looks like. So now I'm looking if both of them are on axis. So this is and this one, yeah, it looks like it's on axis. So what I did cut, oh, you can't see anything, let me take it out. Cut a small slit. I tacked it into one place with some glue, and I did this from this corner so I could add some fiber fill in this little edge just to even out, and it would be equal like that. And I still remember I need to put that ring from the back, so that's why I will need all of this space available to screw that ring. And what I did is I just marked a small circle that I need to cut off for the tweeter to fit in. So I'm gonna cut the hole, and then I'm gonna see if everything fits. I remove the other pillar just to double check how it looks like. So the only thing that I traced kind of similar is like this round, so just make sure that it's kind of similar. It goes to the same depth more or less, and as you can see, the aiming is totally different. It's way off. No, not off, but it's just different. Let me just put it with one hand, just like that. Yeah, so they do start kinda in the same way, it's just the angle is different. So I tag this in place, and the only thing now it's left is to double check that the aiming is fine, make sure that the ring fits through here, and then just add all of these. Okay, now it's spot on. I had to make a few slight adjustments, just slightly twist it like that, tiny bit, and from the top to tilt it a tiny bit, like a bit down, because it was pointing a bit upwards and on that. So now it's literally perfect on axis. So yeah, aiming is cool. Now I have to do all the little bits and pieces, and that's this side is done. So the ring fits here perfectly. I can tie it up, untie it. I had to do some just random stuff on this side, but it's fine. It's very tight on that side, like this. Looks all good. Now some holes to drill. And yeah, looks cool. And this is how it looks like with the tweeters put in. So yeah, apologies, the sun is from the front, so it's a bit dark. But you can see this one looks at me. This one looks at me as well. So today it's pretty much done. I'm not gonna do anything else. Basically today I did much more than I expected. I thought today I might do just one, just aim it, but the little one was happy. She was playing with me all the time. Now she's napping a bit. So yeah, this was an example of a full day, what I did throughout the day. So I did like in bits and pieces, an hour there, did lunch, an hour there, then went to the pool, came back, did the second side, and that's it. Now I'm gonna call it a day, and I'm gonna leave this, all the stuff, for maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, we will see. But pretty much I can wire them up and tune, listen, play, and everything, because the trimming, whatever is gonna happen with all this stuff, because it's not a mid-range, so all these gaps don't really matter, and I could play them like this and I would be totally happy. So this side looks like this, and the other side looks like this. Let me just show you very quickly from outside as well. It's extremely sunny today. So yeah, one is like this, it's aimed towards me, and the other one is looking like this. So now the only thing that it needs, some fiber fill and finishing up. I don't know when I'm gonna do that next, but yeah, pretty much it today. It looks very janky, but I'm happy about this. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one.